Welcome, one and all, to the cave. We are the Cave Boys. Say hello, Ed and Adam.
Hola.
Hello, everybody.
And today we've come together to talk about something very in particular. Zelda is known for its vast array of locations. There's all kinds of sceneries, biomes, and whatnot. And today we're here to talk about what are our favourite locations within the various worlds of Zelda. So, boys, to begin with, what would you say is the most picturesque Zelda game?
Ooh.
You see, I'm too biased, but I'd say Twilight Princess. I know it's not aged
interesting.
perfectly with time, but I think there's too many nice Twilight locations.
It is the moody teenager. Of
Yes.
It's definitely got the
Zelda
edgy vibe that everybody loves. I think I have to give it to Breath of the Wild. It's the
Probably,
easy
yeah,
answer,
I mean-
but it's my answer, so.
I think it's probably the objective answer, to be fair.
Yeah, the scenery itself is what, but that's the thing. It's like you got to separate scenery and art style because they are two different
Yeah, I
things.
suppose.
Like, Ed, do you want to kick us off? What's one of your favorite specific locations in a Zelda game?
Well, I've got a problem, boys. All three of mine are all from Twilight Princess, so
Wait, what?
I'm actually,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, I'm not shitting.
Deary me.
And you know something? I
Okay,
was
okay.
like noting them all down, and Dee was next to me, and I like showed her, and she went, "Are they all from the same game?" And I was like, "Yes." I didn't realise, but yeah, they are. Right. My first one is Ordon Village. Banger.
Fair.
I love Ordon Village, man. They've got. I mean, don't get me wrong. You spend way too long there at the beginning of the game.
A very long time, yeah.
Yeah, but the music.
But it gives you, I was going to say, it gives you a long time to listen to the soundtrack, which is phenomenal.
It's extremely peaceful as well. It's one of the first, in my brain at least, it's one of the first Zelda locations in the series that really gives you that peaceful vibe that isn't like, it doesn't have like an undertone of, something scary's out there. It's just peaceful.
Yeah, I mean, the whole game has a very dark undertone, so I think it's actually like the juxtaposition of something like within this very dark Twilight world. You know, there's this peaceful little village, a little fishing hole, I mean that, there's obviously some scary NPCs. I mean that woman looks, she's all kinds of terrifying, but I can see where you're coming from. Tree lives and of course, like, he's got a tree house as always.
Oh, it is a very sick house.
I mean, Twilight Princess in general, I think actually the first episode of my little retrospective on the games was literally called The Calm Before the Storm, and it's just because Ordon Village is so peaceful and nice.
You poetic bastard.
It's completely different as soon as you get out going to Hyrule Castle, and you're a fucking dog.
Dog.
So Adam, moving on, would you like to let us know what one of your favourite locations in Zelda is?
Well, unsurprisingly, my list also has a Twilight Princess location, but I tell you what, we'll save that since we started with one.
Great.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for one that I don't know. I feel like this game often gets forgotten about when you're talking about favorite locations. The Minish Woods from Minish Cap. That is generally one of my favorite locations. Like, because I mean, growing up playing Minish Cap, I loved the whole shrinking down thing, and the Minish Woods and the Minish Village was like the coolest location at the time, because it's like everything you'd see from regular Link's height shrunk down, and the way they use it to make like homes and stuff. The whole place was just incredibly cool. It was just like this weird miniature village in the grass, basically.
It was a genius mechanic, like,
For sure.
the whole shrinking down thing, because it completely recontextualizes because on the surface, it looks like your average 2D, 2.5D.
2.5D.
It looks like your average 2.5D Zelda world, but then you shrink down into this tiny person, and it completely recontextualizes everything you've been looking at. All of a sudden, like, the planks stretching between houses become walkways, and like what was very minuscule all of a sudden becomes like an obstacle. It's like, it's great.
It essentially opens up like another map in a way, while still being in the same world. That's really cool.
Which reminds me, do you remember when it was rumoured that the Minish would be making an appearance in Tears of the Kingdom?
Oh yeah, because it was down to that
like
one
the
concept art for Breath of the Wild, right? Yeah.
I made a whole video on that. Banged by
I remember that.
Unsurprising that it's unsurprising that Adam would pick Twilight Princess. I'm surprised that Ed picked 3 Twilight Princess locations. That's
He's gone for the treble.
But and in that same very predictable manner, I've obviously gone for Wind Waker to begin with.
Very nice.
And one of my favourite locations in Wind Waker, and for many reasons actually, is the private oasis
Ooh, that's a shout.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember?
Yeah, that is a good one.
The cabana. Do you boys remember?
That's where isn't it where the sliding puzzle is and everything as well?
That's the one.
Yep.
That's the one.
Decent.
So you've travelled the seas, and so far most islands have been incredibly hostile. You hear this. I believe it's the teacher on Windfall.
I think so.
Lets you know that I think she has the deed to the. If you give her, I think is it so many.
I think it's
necklaces?
Butterfly pendants. Yeah.
Yep, she gives you the beach cabana deed, and basically, I mean, and even before that, if you stumble across this island, it's this little oasis. It's literally called an oasis. There's a little oasis in the middle. There's deck chairs. There's a little pool. There's a lovely little beach hut. It's sort of similar to your theory with Ordon Village. It's this little bit of. It's a slice of peace.
Yeah, it's a slice of tranquility in it. It's nice.
In quite a chaotic world, but then it gets a bit deeper because obviously you go up to the door. There's this butler on engraved upon the door, and he tells you piss off basically. So that's already you're like, wait, what? And then when you finally obviously make your way in, having acquired the beach cabana deed, you go in and as Ed says, there's puzzles on the wall.
Yeah,
there's these sliding puzzles, and then as if that wasn't unusual enough, it then literally goes even deeper when you can extinguish the fire and actually crawl underneath the house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a mini dungeon under the house. I mean, there has been theories and speculations as to what that is. And I think it was either Bandit. I want to say it was Bandit who did a theory about what it was that's under that.
I think Zeltic's done one as well. It might have been Zeltic you're thinking of.
Yeah, wasn't there like a single Redead under there as well? And it's like, well, who would that be and how did that happen kind of thing? There's a sinister side to this peaceful oasis. So yeah, my first pick is the private oasis. I think it's weird, peaceful, and with a bit of a creepy undertone. If that doesn't say Zelda, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
Very solid opening choices.
Well, now I'm going to go into another Twilight Princess one.
I was going to say, let me predict it's going to be somewhere in Twilight Princess.
Yes, another Twilight Princess one, I believe. I'm going to go for Castletown in Twilight Princess.
Fair.
At any particular point in the game, or just generally?
Pretty much just generally. I think I'm going to try not to spin this into a whole tangent, but one very interesting point to me is that Link isn't really treated like a hero or like he's trying to become a hero in Castletown. It's very much like he's just a guy walking around.
He's just a chill guy.
Yeah, for real. I mean, some weird amount of headcanon that I've got about Twilight Princess Link is that he has some amount of imposter syndrome. He's doing all these incredible feats, but he usually needs to use his items because he has such a giant item arsenal. And he's like, well, could anyone really do this? But I think Castletown kind of exemplifies that he really is just a guy.
Castletown is like, I think that's the most comprehensive town as well. Like, you can actually, I remember getting lost a couple of times the first time I played the game, sort of wandering around the back streets.
All the little alleyways and stuff, it can be quite hard to navigate at first.
There's so many people, it's so busy as well. It's by far, I feel like the easiest to actually call like almost a city in any of the games.
Yeah.
It's the best Castletown in the series, for sure.
For me it is, yeah.
Agreed.
Well, unsurprisingly, another Twilight Princess one. But I'm going to go for a little bit of a different one. One of the games I named at the beginning, a Breath of the Wild location.
Oh.
Okay.
And I feel like everyone can, mutually agree on this one.
I think I might know where this is going.
Satori Mountain.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has to be on there. I mean, it's got everything. Seeing it from a distance is something special alone. It's like seeing the Northern Lights. The fact that it's got so much lore behind it as well, with the Lord of the Mountain, the Blue Peas, the actual mountain itself. I don't know if either of you guys have seen this video, but Croton did a video like years ago on Satori Mountain and went into how
I did watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes into like how it's like one of the only places that grows essentially everything. Like you can find like durian trees there, for example. The only other place they grow is in the Faron region. And you find other like herbs and stuff growing there that you'd never find growing together. So like it's almost like this big mountain of like nature, like a sanctuary almost.
Yeah, it's got the perfect Zelda recipe, which is like very peaceful but enigmatic. I'd not actually thought about that, but yeah, there is it's got a very diverse biome considering where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tears of the Kingdom kind of expanded on it as well. Having like bloopies just like appear around the map, and that there's the whole tree thing where like you can like you give like an offering or something, and then it shows you every cave around that area. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it summons the Satori, like Lord of the Mountain.
So, moving on to my second. This one I think will speak to both of you boys, as you are both British. This will speak to the British person, the British viewers out there.
Is it a Bloodborne location?
It's not. It's the Lumpy Pumpkin.
Oh.
In Skyward Sword, a floating pub.
Yeah, I was going to say, pub, banging.
If there's anywhere you want to be faded, it's the Lumpy Pumpkin.
This is what I was thinking though, is that is it still drink driving if you fly on a bird? Is that still?
I don't think so, because the bird's got a mind of its own.
For example, let's say that is drink driving and you're not allowed to leave. I mean, guess you're stuck on Pub Island. Oh my god, the best place to be in the entire world. They've got beds in there, by the way, as well, because it is like an inn as well. And not only that, it isn't like a novelty, a pub with a bit of a gimmick.
One could call it an Airbnb.
Oh, that shit.
Right then, Eddie.
Yeah, I guess my
final location. And just before you start, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say it's Twilight Princess.
There was a bit of me that was actually wanting to like just change it last second, just to piss both of you off. But no, I guess I won't. Snowpeak Ruins. I love Snowpeak Ruins, man. The fact that there's so much lore, but you also don't know what the lore is exactly. There's so much to delve into with Snowpeak Ruins. It's a giant mansion. Don't get me wrong, we've seen mansions like this in the past. I mean, even like Forest Temple. But I don't know, the music really heightens the experience for me. I remember the first time I played Twilight Princess, the day after I'd done Snowpeak Ruins, it was actually ringing out to me in my dream. I'm not even kidding. And then I had to listen to it when I woke up at like 6 a.m. I just had to. But no, just the aesthetics. It's like a nice red, white for the snow. Plus, come on guys, it's Christmas. It's Christmas.
Okay.
Quite a Christmassy location, I suppose.
I don't know, I just love it. I like the giant vibes. I love the Yeto and Yetta.
I was going to say, are they squatters? Did they acquire the property? That's always that's up for debate. Where did they come from? What was it originally used for? Was it a garrison? Was it like was it some sort of training ground? Was it, did it belong to some sort of, aristocrat or something? This is what I mean. The enigmatic nature behind it is very appealing. But Ed, since it is your favorite location, what do you think of the dungeon itself?
Oh yeah, banger. It's like it's top 3 for me in the series. I want to say probably second, but I don't know to what, because it swaps around for me constantly.
I usually put Snowpeak at my favourite dungeon. As a dungeon, I absolutely love it.
I think Arbiter's Grounds might top it for me, but that's it.
I was actually going to say I think Arbiter's Ground is my favourite.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea that they went for this, very ominous, in the middle of nowhere, very cold, dark, dank dungeon. Find your way through this creepy, enigmatic place. But also, we want you to make soup at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a funny balance, that. Adam, finish us off. What is your final? Third and final location?
Finally, a Twilight Princess location that I can delve into. It is somewhere that, I'm not joking, I probably spent most of my playtime in this location on my first playthrough. That's the fishing hole. Henna's fishing hole, to be specific.
Oh, and you'd pick that fishing hole over, for example, Ocarina of Time's fishing hole.
Oh, easily, any day.
Because I'm going to be honest, the Ocarina of Time fishing hole almost made it onto my list. But
really interesting.
Yeah,
Ocarina of Time fishing hole is a really good one as well.
It's a good one, but like it's a little less full for me. There's less to do, but it is an N64 game, but it's decent for what it is. I enjoyed it. That got me into the love of the niche of fishing in Zelda games.
This is one of the great things about modernity. We've gone from, gentlemen who actually like to go out and fish to gentlemen who like to play games where they can occasionally play, go fishing within that video game.
Yeah.
Adam, that's the main reason why you enjoyed Animal Crossing, right?
Very true.
I mean, yeah, basically. Just let me go fishing.
Yeah, I mean, and the fishing hole also has like a little bit of cool lore behind it, because inside the little hut that she stays in, there's photos on the wall, and one of the photos is the man from the Ocarina of Time fishing hole, and it's I can't remember if it's actually official or if it's just like a rumored thing, but it is said that they're related. I think she says it actually in the game. I think she says that that's like one of her relatives, like grandfather or great-grandfather or something like that, and that she wants to continue the family legacy.
If she has continued the family legacy, does that mean that, if you use like a no-clip camera to go out of bounds, you find that she actually has no legs, just like the guy from, just like the fishing guy from Ocarina of Return?
I think it's been debugged because she does get on a boat, but you never know.
It does make some sense, like the whole being the granddad thing, especially with the theme of like the hero of time coming back as the hero shape.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a smaller version of that.
To wrap this all up, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised neither of you boys went for this as well, because we've all gone for similar kind of vibes, which is like places where we'd really like to be. Yeah. Basically, like, if I went to this world, where would I go? A running theme throughout quite a few of our answers has been like, a little bit of peace in the middle of chaos. Sort of on that thing is Eventide Island.
Oh, yeah, Eventide is a banger. Yeah, it's a very good one.
It is this seemingly very peaceful. Well, it is. It's an incredibly peaceful, tranquil island, but it's been inhabited by various, malignant creatures. It's the classic JRPG trope of you get to a point in the game where it takes either part of your party off you or some of your abilities, or it resets you rather than making everything else more difficult. It makes it makes you much worse as a character, making you work 10 times harder. And I love the idea that it's like, okay, yes, you've managed to make it, you've managed to find armor, weapons, you've managed to look after yourself, you found food to eat, you've learned how to cook, how to do all this. How about we take everything off you and then you actually put into practice what it is that you've learned in the game? I think it's absolutely genius. Not to mention, if it wasn't for YouTube and it wasn't for walkthroughs, like, there would be a handful of players who would never have even found the island. They would have seen it off in the distance and thought,
true.
There's no way I can make it out there. It's only because people were like, it's only those like, the foragers in the Zelda community that thought, I can see it, I'm going to try and get to that. And you do, and you discover this, this topsy-turvy world where, you have to start all over again.
It's one of the best, I think, implementations of the whole feeling of exploration during Breath of the Wild, for sure.
And survival.
Yeah, it's the same as the labyrinths. You get that same feeling, especially that labyrinth up at the top right of the map in Breath of the Wild. It's like you just glide out there and you don't think you're going to make it, but then you make it. And it's like, what?
Yeah, it's like stepping out of bounds. It's something you didn't know you could do.
Was there any interesting theories or anything behind Eventide that you can think of?
Eventide, I think mostly it's like Koholint type.
So it's all a dream kind of thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people tried to tie it to that.
It's a great location. I think we've made some good lists there, boys.
Very Twilight Princess heavy. I actually wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a lot of Breath of the Wild, and maybe even Wind Waker, because I thought, like, it's a very picturesque game.
I kind of thought you guys would do this, so I almost put Rito Village in and Tarry Town.
I do like Rito Village.
Rito Village in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom go hard.
I was kind of close to putting Outset Island, just because I absolutely love Outset Island at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, that's a great location too.
It's not just that. It's like Outset's got a little bit of everything. It's very picturesque, and then obviously later on in the game, you actually discover that Lord Jabu Jabu is actually been hiding behind your house the entire time as well. Then
next door
you
neighbor.
come back even later in the game, only to discover the hardest dungeon in the game is on Outset Island. Yeah, it's a great location. Any honourable mentions, boys?
Skyloft. How the hell have none of us put Skyloft on our list? That's mental.
Well, do you know what? I almost went with Beedle's Shop.
Oh, Beedle's Shop is a banger.
Skyward
that's
Sword.
A good one.
Just the idea that, like, this unusual man's thighs is keeping, an entire building in the air. And you got to ring the bell. He drops a rope down to you. You climb. It's just, he ejects you if you don't buy anything. But yes, Skyloft is also great. Like, the fact it's got a bazaar in the middle. Love that. It's got a secret cave.
I think we need to give mention to the Great Sky Islands as well. Just for the
we talked
views.
about that the other day, didn't we? Yeah, Great Sky Islands.
Just Sky Islands in general from Tears of the Kingdom. They were magnificent.
They
to
do
look
have
at.
the most picturesque views in the world.
What's the equivalent of the Shrine of Awakening in Tears of the Kingdom? What is that, or something?
Room of Awakening. Yeah,
like when you first go out and you look down and you see the temple below you, and all the islands, and then below that you see obviously how that is one of the best visual moments within a Zelda game, I think.
Yeah. That is a visual boner. That's what that is.
Shows your boner, Adam.
Prove it.
I didn't think I'd get this far, boys.
Right, well, thank you one and all for joining us for this little soiree into our favourite locations within a Zelda game. Is there any that we've forgotten? Almost, undoubtedly we've got the...
actually, you forgot my favourite Zelda game. How could you not mention this location?
So maybe the Twilight realm as well. Maybe I'll throw that in there as well, just because it's unique.
Oh, okay.
It's very unique.
Yeah, I'd really like to add in the Forest Temple, the Goron mines, the Lake Bed Ruins. Yeah. I'd like to throw in the entirety of Twilight Princess.
Is a bit of jet fuel for Ed's essays, Ed. How about the parallels between the Twilight realm and Mementos?
That's a good one. I like that.
There you go. You get thinking about that one. Yes, thank you one and all for joining us on this little video. If you'd like to see any more of these videos, do let us know by dropping a like on this video, subscribing to the channel, and of course, leaving us a comment down below of your favourite Zelda location. And make sure to explain why. If you just say a place, I'll shout at you for being boring. Let us know. All right. See you in the next one, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye,
guys.
Bye, bye. Bye, bye.
Bye, bye.
Bye, bye. Bye, bye.